Greetings. My name is Karen and I go by Kai. My purpose for this YouTube channel is to reach like-minded individuals with the desire to raise your consciousness and help create a life vibrating at your divine frequencies. All praises to the Almighty, the Creator of all. Thanks for watching this video. Please stay until the end. Hi, my YouTube fam. Welcome again. Today is our sit down talk day. And I want to talk about single parenthood. I'm a single parent and I went through quite a few challenges, but I must say I've had some really great experience as a mom, single mom. So I have a video. When you watch this video, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the video itself and my view on being a single parent.
Why these women nowadays want to be so independent and they want to be their own boss and I don't need a man? And
well, what we have to take responsibility for that.
yeah.
Because the black woman has had to raise the children alone and hold down the community alone for quite a long time because of the war against black men. So we cannot expect our women to be submissive when they had a history of having to take care of the whole house, be the man and the woman by themselves. So I think we as black men can be somewhat disingenuous when we accuse black women of being too headstrong. She had to be in order to survive. And I think that if we want them to transform, to adopt a more feminine posture, because we would like that. But before she can do that, she has to be absolutely certain that we're going to hold her down. She has to be absolutely certain that we're not going to walk out on her, that when we commit to her, we're committing to her for good. Because sometimes it's best to stay in a struggle than to have somebody sell you a fairy tale of how they can make things better only to walk out on you. You understand? I wouldn't want us to do a Deion Sanders. You understand? Come there and get everybody hopes up and then walk out on them. And so, you know, I'm not in a rush to see my sisters change their attitude towards being independent until we as black men assure them that we are there for the long run. Because when she looks at all these black men dating out the race, she look at all the black men who want to be serial monogamous and players for the rest of their life, you know, I can't fault her from adopting that position, because being tough allowed her to raise them kids. Being tough allowed her to work them jobs. Being tough allowed her to hold down the community. Being tough allowed her to pay off for them college tuition for all those children. Being tough allowed her to make it without having a man she could depend on. I don't want her giving that up unless we're certain we can hold her down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, welcome back. I hope you guys full enjoyed the video and it was informative for you guys. So for me, being a single parent in the USA, I honestly think that single parenthood was a strategic plan in society for especially melanin people. It's from the days when we were enslaved, when they used the man, and I think they called it, they bucked, raped them, and dehumanized them in front of their wives and children. That right there, in somewhat ways, broke up that family unit. That woman watched her husband being sodomized, caused her to have less respect for him. Going forward, it brought a wedge. So I'm saying this is somewhat the beginning of their strategic plan in the world, especially in the USA, because I could speak for the USA as a person that was born and raised there. Also, with that being said, and I would like to add to that, is there's a war on our black men. There's a war against them and their masculinity. And because of that, they amped up our femininity, made it feels like it's more about the woman being independent, taking care of her home. They also forced us to feel. I'm going to use the word force because we were kind of forced into feeling like we got this. We can do what the man can do. If you notice, it's a lot of us as women that we're working more than the men. And in some scenarios, we make more than they do. So in a lot of ways, we were more of the breadwinners. To me, that avoided us from being more submissive to our man, because we felt like we was holding it down. You know, we played two roles in the home. Another thing that I noticed in America, and it's a fact, not just an observation, it's also a fact, that when you're a single mom, you get several opportunities if you're working below the poverty level. I want to be clear. You work below the poverty level, meaning if you're making less than $30,000 a year, which we know that $30,000, $35,000 is nothing when you're raising yourself, when you're taking care of yourself and children. However, if you, as a single mom, need assistance from the government, what they do is they will allot that help to you if you don't have the father in the home. So they full encourage you to be in that home alone in order to get help. They're not looking at the fact that there's some men out there, dads, they might be sick. Some of them get incarcerated, which we know that's another war on our black men. They locking them up for little and nothing. So when they do come out, it's hard for them to get a job. They don't want you to have the criminal background. That's another downfall for us. Then they tell you you can get assistance. You can get some medical assistance, which is like Medicaid. You can get financial assistance from the government. Yet, in addition, if you take that assistance, he can't be there. I know people that lived in certain areas, where we would call it the projects, and they lie. We lie and say he's not there just so we can get help so we can feed our children, so we can feed ourselves, so we can keep the roof over our heads. But yet still it's full courage for him not to be there. So this single parent life is not easy. Another area I wanted to touch is, and I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. A lot of the black fellas out here, melanin and rich fellas out here, they choosing. And they do more than they do when they got us. That's so disappointing for me. I have sat back and seen it time and time again. And then when they're with them, they act like we're non-existent. Those fellas that chose that side. You would think that we're invisible to them, you know. My thing is, why do you feel like you should go the extra mile, run a whole 100-meter lap for them, but not for your sister. The one that looked just like your mama. Do you not love your mom enough to be attracted to someone that looks like her? Or do you not feel fulfilled until you are with someone like this? That's when you feel like you live the American dream? Is that what it is? And I don't want to just single it out in America either, because I see it here in Africa. It's out there in the UK. It's in Sweden. It's in Germany. Man, it's across the world. We feel sometimes as if we're not whole if we stay within our own. The unit is stronger when we stay within. We have more of a bond when we keep it within. You know, like when I'm raising my children and we have family issues or family discussions, I always tell them, you better keep it in the family. Do not go outside and discuss what we discuss behind closed doors. It's not their business. That goes for everyone. We all want to keep things private. So why can't we keep our family unit? Remember, it's a war against us in society. Divide and conquer is what they've been doing most of our lives. And this is so many ancestors that passed on, that they went through it. You got so many mixed races because our sisters were raped in times of enslavement. It wasn't a choice. They didn't have a choice at that time. They were violated. All of these things stem from those times to this time today. It's modern day slavery today. We are a slave to the system when we go and we ask for assistance, because they don't want a family unit. And in order for you to be approved, you can't be a family unit. And if you are, you have to lie. And if they think you're lying, they make home visits, come and pop in on you to make sure he ain't there. Why? They say, when a man comes into the world, he's considered as an individual. When a woman comes into the world, she's considered as a nation, because she birthed all of us. I really want my men, my brothers out there, my dads, the ones that's not single, because dads, I know you go through it too. You sometimes feel what us single moms feel. I know some men that stepped up to the plate, and the wives, they chose to live a free life. Like most of us women, we go through it. We have men that I'm gonna call them sperm donors. They tell us all these great things. Oh, we're gonna get married, we're gonna have a great family, and then they can't get enough. They see another woman and another woman, and they have so many babies out there with all these women, and they're telling all of us the same story, and we all end up alone, raising our children alone, because they feel like they want to be bachelors. They want to live a bachelor life, and they really quick to walk away from their responsibilities. It's easier for them. I always say my children are like my luggage. They go wherever I go, and I'm not leaving my luggage. This is a broad topic, but there's just some areas I want to touch. It's also fault to the government because of the economy. They make it very hard for us. A lot of times relationships are broken because of financial issues. And because we were conditioned to think a certain way in this society, when we as women feel like we're doing more, we have that attitude that we run things. I don't want to sound disrespectful towards the men, yet a man's supposed to make it happen. You're in your home with your children, your wife. If it's only you and your wife, you're still supposed to make it happen. If it's you and your children and your wife, you're supposed to make it happen. Not illegally, but make it happen. The Lord, the word says, the Almighty help those that help themselves. Don't sit back and wait for it. Go make it happen. Anything you put forth effort to do, the Almighty will help. So she is not supposed to ever feel like she's doing more. She's supposed to know that her man got her. She's secure. He holding it down no matter what. And when time comes, when things are a little rough, and she know you always had it, she's not gonna think twice to make sure she step up to the plate. She won't. But for my single moms out there, sometimes we can be a bit irresponsible. We feel like we need to go to the club every strong end, and we got ourselves making choices with men that we shouldn't. We bring in men around our children, some of them being violated by them, some of them not good influences on them. So it's to take a step back and start making better choices. Our children are our children for a lifetime. Just remember that they grow up. And the word parent is not the word parent for nothing. We pay rent. We pay rent until it's time that they get grown and start doing their own paying of rent. We pay the rent. You're a pair, I'm a pair, we're parents. And that's what we do till they're so-called adults. Because I won't even put a number on that. I got my children back, no matter what. I got my children back. I do. So if they want to stay with me forever, they have that right. Yes, they got to be responsible though. You ain't gonna kick up and watch TV all day and mama go to work. That ain't gonna work. We have to change the direction in where things have been going for us going forward, where the men feel like it's so easy for them to walk away from their responsibilities. Not too long ago, I saw a video where they're not even referring us as moms. They're referring us as birthing people. That's so disrespectful to me. I mean, what would I say to my mother if she was here with me today? May her soul rest in peace. Birthing person? That makes no sense. Do you see where society is going? Do you see how they want to end humanity? Do you see that they're telling you it's X amount of genders nowadays? Come on. There's only two from creation. And there's nothing else but that. And with the two is procreation. And we just need to own up to that. Falling into this world of deception and lies and deceit and manipulation. Man, it's a mom and a dad. And that's it. Bottom line. And dads, step up to the plate. Do what you supposed to do. Don't watch no fierce. Don't watch no fierce. Your responsibility are your responsibility. Own that. Don't be comfortable. Your man a give you money, you take it. I don't like that. That should be a red flag to all women when your man feel comfortable taking money. I feel a certain kind of way about it, and I felt like I needed to get that off my chest. And I thank you guys so much for sitting back, watching, and listening with hopes and prayers that going forward as we bring forth life into the world, we enforce certain behaviors that is positive, that promotes unity, family unit. All right? I love you guys so much. And I thank you guys for listening. I thank all of my new subscribers and my old ones too. You guys are so amazing. I'm grateful for your support. I ask you guys to continue to like. Give me that thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up. Comment and subscribe. More love.